Good morning, everybody. Hello out there in Radio Land. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is your city, your voice, coming to you live from the studios of downtown Niagara Falls 48Q. Here we are on a beautiful, finally Friday. And I'm going to tell you one thing right now. This weather's starting to get really, really nice out there. It's a beautiful, partly cloudy day. It's going to hit 80, maybe it's 75 or something right now. Just a beautiful, beautiful day out there. Enjoy the weather, everybody. We're finally getting it, and by next week it's supposed to go up into the 80s, and that is fine with me. I have no problem with that. So let's enjoy this weather while they're getting. They just said Acapulco just got hit by a hurricane. How about that? We never saw that. They did, and that's fine with me. Keep it there. Keep it there. Hurricane season started June 1st, so they're going to start seeing it all over the Caribbean. That's the way it goes. This weekend, of course, today, Ribstock starts. I think it fires up at around 1 this afternoon, Ribstock, and it runs today, tomorrow, and I believe Sunday. Tell me I'm lying if it only goes till Saturday, but I think it goes the weekend. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go tonight. I'm going to go up there about 5 o'clock, see what's cooking at Ribstock. How long I'm going to stay there, I don't know. I get bored at these things. I go grab something to eat and get the hell out of there. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I am going to go. So before we get into the show, we got lots to talk about today. Your comments. We have a lot of things going on around the city. I'm going to give you my opinion on a lot of stuff, whether you like it or not. But I do thank you for viewing in, and I do thank those who leave comments because that's part of the show. It's your city, your voice. Use your voice. Leave me a comment, and we'll discuss it on here. And I don't agree with everybody. Nobody agrees with me hardly at all. But it's still out there for you to take a look at, think about, and comment on, which is a good thing. Okay, so my sponsors: Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamill Machine Company, and our latest sponsor, the Niagara Parks Commission. So we look at this weather, and we know we got about another week, and the kids are off of school, and you know what they're going to be doing? They're going to be wanting to go places. They want to go to the beach. They want to go to Darien Lake. They want to go up north. They want to do something, and that means jumping in the car and going somewhere. And you want to make sure your car is running tip top. That's why you take it to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. No fooling around. They'll give you their spring checkup, even though we're closing in on summer. They're going to give you the spring checkup, make sure everything's running all right, make sure your car's safe with good brakes, make sure the air conditioning's working, make sure all your fluids are topped up. Everything's working A1 so you don't break down when you do decide to go somewhere with the kids. The last thing you want is them yelling and screaming. So just be proactive and get it done. Now, they have a full body shop. So if you get in a wreck, take it there. Ken's going to fix it in his body shop, give it back to you in showroom condition. Everybody's going to be happy. And when you have a happy car, that's good. Your car gets happy when it gets an oil change and it gets a little bit of love. So get down to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop on Oakwood Drive next to the Kia dealership. Show your car love. Don't be a schmuck. And you can go to wildbillsauto.ca to make an appointment or see what they're doing down there. Now, while you're there at that website, don't forget to check in on the video and give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. It costs nothing. Hit the notification button. You'll get a ding whenever I drop a video. Hey, that's the best way to watch it. You don't have to worry about it. You can watch it on video. Hey, if you have to, you can turn on 4680Q at noon, and I do it live. It's live on 4680Q at noon. Catch the early version before the video comes out. Either way, you're going to be listening to the show, and I thank you very much for that. Your voice. That's what we do here. So let's get right into viewer comments. And a big thank you to everyone that leaves comments. At the Iceman 69, we know who that is, Johnny Boy. He says passes are valid, and where he's talking about the parking passes that Mayor Jim came up with this scheme to grab everybody for $35 if they want a parking pass, and they can park for 2 hours on city streets. Well, John says passes are valid for up to 2 consecutive hours in the same zone, same space. Only valid at on-street parking space. Machines with meters. Machines are meters. You can use it on that. This pass is not valid in municipal parking lots, not valid in existing time limit areas to exceed posted times or add to posted times. Now, thanks for that information, Iceman, but I think there was a city council meeting where the person asked me about the boat ramp. It's $7 to park. The person goes there every day, parks, and then they have to pay $7. So I said, I don't think you do. I think if you buy that $35 parking pass, that you can park anywhere in the city. And I think they changed the rules so you can park at the boat launch as well. Now, if you have a truck and a trailer or a car and a trailer with a jet ski or a boat, and you're launching and parking, yes, you have to pay. But if you're just a city resident with one of those passes, you can go there and park for a couple hours at no charge. And I found that out. I contacted Councilor Lococo and asked her what it was, and that's the answer she gave me. So, if you're wondering, yes, you can go there every day if you want. You can jump in the water, do whatever you want down there, and you can park for 2 hours and get in your swim or whatever your read a book, do whatever you want down there, but you can use that parking pass. So if you're going to go down there every day, you're down there every day doing something, you're better off to buy the $35 pass. I mean, why not? 5 days you got to pay for it and you can use it all year. Okay, so at the Iceman 69, another one says they can wear T-shirts with words. So he was talking about the big ruckus at city council meeting on Tuesday, where a bunch of women came in and said, they had a saying on a bunch of signs. Women say no or something like that. But anyway, what it had to do with was changing the rules for city council members. So if they get charged with anything, they immediately get thrown off council until the actual case comes up for trial or whatever's going to happen with it, and a decision is made as to their innocence or guilt. But they should not be able to sit on council if they're charged with any kind of offense. And that's what they're looking to have the rules changed to. So John says they can wear T-shirts with the words on them, to me, that's a crock. T-shirt, same thing on, or holding a sign. It's a public building, and if you're not causing a disturbance, then you should be able to hold signs too. You own the building, right? Taxpayers own that building. You're sitting there with a sign that says peace not love, or love not peace, or peace not war, whatever it is, other than a racial slur or a terrorist saying or something like that, something that's not acceptable in general society, to be honest with you. If you have that on there, then they may ask you to leave, because that would cause a disturbance. Other people might get upset and start yelling at you. It's not something you want to have on that. But just about a cause or a movement that's out there, peace not war, or all we are saying is give peace a chance, that kind of should be all right. I mean, when they say you can't hold any signs, has anybody ever tested that in a court of law? I don't think they have, because basically holding a sign falls under freedom of speech. Freedom of speech in a public building is allowed. Once again, policy and decorum, they're not law. That's not a law. There's no law. Well, it's a policy. Policy isn't law. Is it legal or not? Now, if they pass a bylaw of the city or something like that, then that might be a different story. Don't know if they can. But the rules are made up by people who have no authority to make up rules. That's the problem, and enforce them. They can't. No policy or rules of decorum trump the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in the Constitution. And in this case, it's a freedom of speech. Now, when it's all said and done, they're going to come up and tell you, like the cops, we're charging you with trespassing because you've been asked to leave. Well, you can't ask taxpayers to leave a public building. They have a right to be there. You can't trespass them. You can't trespass them. So that's why they never got charged. Oh, the city never charged them. No, because they never win it. If they went to court and fought it, they say it's a public building and a public meeting, open to the public. We weren't causing a disturbance. We're holding this sign up. That's it. The judge is going to throw it out. Come on. So they give you all these threats, and people listen to them, and because what are they going to do? Then they're going to handcuff you, you sue for false arrest and everything else. That's what you got to go through, a big rigmarole. But one day they're going to pull that crap, and somebody's going to test them on it. Okay, at Chicken Gnar, we're all doomed with this PM. Please look after our country first, especially where it concerns the homeless or soon to be homeless, which is where I'm almost at. Now that's a big statement, Chicken Gnar. I don't know who Chicken Gnar is. I don't know this person. I think it's maybe a first or second time commenter. So, but good point. Please look after our country first. Our we'll talk about that later because Carney's just sent a whack of money over to Europe, and he sent a whack of money to the Ukraine again. So yeah, you're right. I mean, the number is 200. Most people are within $200 of being totally broke. A lot of people can't pay the bills. That's the bottom line. And big governments and big corporations raise taxes and prices all the time. How do we keep up with no relief in sight? It's going to get worse. And as our PM gives away trillions of dollars, I mean, it's crazy. They can't live within their means, but they expect us to. How are we going to do it if they can't? And then they throw on insidious carbon taxes and moves to mandate EVs. It's going to make the matter worse. There's an option to accept the fact that life is over, and people are choosing to leave this earth rather than face the dismal future. How sick of a country and society do we have in Canada where people would rather die by choice rather than face the sad reality of tomorrow? And that's the situation we're in, Chicken Gnar, and I agree with you 100%. Most people are in the same situation as you are. Today's homeowner is tomorrow's homeless person. Sad but true. Sad but true, and nobody's going to help. Okay, so we talked about the Chippewa boat ramp and about that card. That's all the viewer comments. Thank you so much to everybody who commented. Don't forget to watch the video daily and comment on it. Let's see what you have to say. We're all in this together. We are going to have an election, and we're going to have to decide who we want to run the city. If you think the current crop of counselors are doing a great job, then you give them a vote. If you don't, then we might change things up next election. But it takes all of us, not 27%. It takes all of us to be involved to make this happen. Okie dokie. So I was I was looking around the neighborhood, and I saw all these trucks and everything running around. I'm going, what the heck's going on here? Right home the other day, and I think a few of my neighbors got ripped off by a fly-by-night paving company. How do I know? Well, for one, the job was terrible. These guys worked on this, and in within a matter of hours, they had a new driveway in. Number one, I thought that was pretty quick. Number two, they didn't even have a paver. Now, I've seen a lot of driveways done in my life. I worked for Norjon. I've never seen a job done without a paver. Most companies have a paver that they use to get the thickness right, to get the slope right, to get the everything, the grade right, right? And they never had one of those. They did this by hand with wheelbarrows. I have no idea how they got it even close to being flat or running away from the house. How do you do that without a transit and without a paver, especially a paver? Second, no names, not one name on any of the trucks. They had two big dump trucks. They had two big dump trucks, tandem dump trucks. They had two vehicles with trailers behind them. One carried a roller and one carried a bobcat, and not a name on any of these trucks. No identification, no nothing. And they were working in the dark the night they did it. That's right. It got dark out and they were still working. They were paving a driveway in the dark. Now, how are you possibly going to get it right in the dark? There's no lights. They never had any big floodlights or anything. Totally in the dark. I mean, just ridiculous. All by hand with wheelbarrows of asphalt. But I mean, most asphalt that I see laid down is hot. very hot, 160, 170 degrees, maybe. And then it's rolled and compressed. This wasn't steaming or anything. It was the goofiest thing I ever saw. And of course, how do you pave without a paver? I don't get it. I mean, I think somebody called the cops because they were there running up and down the street. But the guys who were running the show, like the workers, I don't think they could speak English. When I heard them on the phone, they were just speaking some other language. But the foreman or whatever, they were running around. And when the cops came, they took off. They split the scene. It was crazy, I'm telling you. And, these guys are pretty slick. Let me put it that way. And, I know darn well what they do. They go to one house and they convince the one house to do it. Say, hey, we're going to be in the neighborhood. We'll do your driveway. We'll give you a great price on it. And then other guys will see it. And then they say to the other guys, hey, yeah, we're doing that guy's driveway there. We can give you a great price because we're in the neighborhood. While we're here, we can do yours and give you a phenomenal price. And, it's probably this much asphalt, an inch or something. Like it's junk. It looks junk. It is junk. Guys are slick. They tore out 4 driveways in a day, and then they rolled them and everything else, and then they paved them without a paver with wheelbarrows in the dark. You tell me that doesn't sound like a scam. Anyway, I'm warning everybody out there. If you see these fly-by-nights in your neighborhood, don't use them. These driveways are going to be 2 or 3 years. They're going to be gone. These guys are already gone. You think a person who has pride in their work will be back the next day to look at the driveways and say, I just came to check and see how your driveways are. Because I didn't see them in the dark last night. You think one of them would have came back and at least made it look good? Nah, they don't care. They don't care. They're out of here. They packed up. They left. They're in another part of town and then on their way back to Toronto or wherever they came from. The one truck, it was a Range Rover with a trailer, and the trailer had license plates from Texas on it. None of the trucks had front license plates. It was a big scam. Who knows where these guys came from? I don't know. Probably came here, rented a Bobcat and a roller for the day, and they're going to go and make 25, 30 grand or whatever they make in our neighborhood, whatever they charge. I don't know what they would charge. I don't know what asphalt's worth today or a driveway's worth, but probably 7 or 8,000, I would think. They maybe charge them 4 or 5. So, an easy bunch of money here. And that's that. So be careful out there. Please be careful. This is the time of year when you get these scam artists. They come out of the woodwork. They're knocking on your doors for driveways, for stone, for cement, for windows, for siding. They're bugging everybody. And you know what? People bite on it because of the cheap price. They think, "Oh, that's great. I couldn't get that. Oh, we can do it because we're from Toronto." Who knows? I don't know what they say. I don't know. They charge you Toronto prices around here. We can charge you real prices because we're not in Toronto. They give you some excuse. They're slick. They're slick. They're con artists. Anyway, be careful out there. Please, please be careful. 4 people in our neighborhood. I don't know. It doesn't look good for them. Doesn't look good for them. I haven't talked to them, and I don't want to go over there and bug them about it. It's their problem, but I'd love to see the receipt for it. I'll bet you they never got a receipt. Oh no, all you do is just call me here. Here's my cell number. We'll be right back to fix any problems. Out of service. Hello? Out of service. Hello? Out of service. Be careful out there. That's all I'm telling you. Over to my first sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Or my second sponsor, actually, because Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop is the first one. Second sponsor, Pete's Pizza. But they're never second when it comes to making a pizza. They're first. I'm telling you, you want a good pizza, you want consistency, you want to get that pizza the same every time, that same goodness, they can do it. And there's not a lot of places that are consistent with their pizza. Some days it depends who's cooking. So, no, these guys are always there. They're always there cooking up good pizzas. They use fresh sauce, fresh crust, with the Mancini family recipe. Always good. Know how to put the cheese in on the right ratio with the sauce. Can't beat it. It's the perfect pizza with fresh toppings, but they're not a one-hit wonder. Panzerotti, steak and cheese poutine, regular poutine. They have it all, and their wings are second to none in the city. They make tremendous wings. And I think it's 15% off orders over $25 right now. So they even give you a break on the price. You can't beat it. They use Dine, they use Skip, they use all the different delivery services. Plus, they have their own. And usually they can get it to you if you're somewhere in the city close, within a reasonable distance. They'll get it to you within a half an hour, hot and fresh. How do you get a hold of one of these beautiful pizza pies? Well, all you have to do is dial 905-374-2222 or go to pizzavictoria.ca. You're going to get yourself a great pizza. You can't beat it. Order yours today. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. And I guarantee you're going to be a happy camper when you bite into one of those nice slices of their hot pizza. Fantastic. Thank you for supporting our sponsors because they support the show. And the city, too. They're one of the sponsors of our Rick Rose event last week. Okay, so I read the real estate market in Niagara appears to be on life support. From January to May, Niagara saw only 628 housing starts across all dwelling types, down 23% since last year at this time. The region is quite a bit below average. If nobody's buying, why build them is the mantra in the real estate developers market. That's what they're thinking right now. We're not going to build them if nobody's buying. Starts for single-family homes in Niagara sit at 421, the lowest since 2013. Now, there's still a lot of inventory out there for buyers that already that they have up for sale, already up for sale. So there isn't a lot more that needs to be built to satisfy the demand. It's all supply and demand. We know that. Supply and demand, supply and demand. Chuck McShane, CEO for Niagara Home Builders Association, said the industry is facing a difficult time because of uncertainty. Costs are rising, banks are, wary of funding loans, and new supply is not moving, with some people that purchased homes delaying the closing. And of course, they're going to blame it on tariffs and everything else. That's what they usually blame it on. Now, Niagara Falls itself has a very low number of new homes underway, with 9 starts in 2025. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat here. I can't get rid of allergies and stuff. You get outside, there's stuff floating around. Heat and humidity kill you. So I don't get this. 9 starts in Niagara Falls compared to 62 a year ago. 9 starts? That's it? I mean, it's a buyer's market out there for sure. And people are looking to move. They're going to have to take less money because buyers have a lot of choices right now. When they don't have any choices, that's when the bidding war starts. When they have lots of choices, people have to drop their price to be able to sell their units. Good for buyers, bad for sellers. I haven't talked to real estate agents, but the ones I know and watch have very few listings as compared to what they were showing over the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I had friends who were in the business who were posting stuff all the time about new listings. Now it's one here, one there, one here. Not a lot. Not a lot of celebrating the crazy wild days where you'd put your house up for $650,000, you get $900 for it. That wasn't that long ago, but everything's cooled down since then. Prices have dropped significantly, and I can't say if it's true or not. But what it looks like to me is just a glut of housing, and that's it. Nobody's buying. So people want to sell, they want to move up, they want to do this, they want to do that. Well, a lot of contingent sales depend on whether they can sell their house. So if they're going to move into a new one, yeah, they put an offer in. Yeah, we will. As soon as we got to wait till we sell our house to buy it, they give them so many days, they're not selling. And that's the end of that. There's not much else you can do. So that's it. That's all there is to it. It's a glut, and there's not much you can do about it. Now, you can read the full article in the review written by Victoria Nicolau, a reporter with the St. Catharines Standard. Thank you so much for the article. So good news. The province of Ontario has committed 13 million scrolls to help fund initiatives to alleviate the urgent need for workers. Now, this is good. David Piccini, Minister of Labor, Immigration, Training, and Skills Development, announced the initiative through the Skills Development Fund training stream that'll support 11 phenomenal training projects, he called them, and will help more than 9,000 Niagara residents prepare for jobs in the construction, manufacturing, and food and beverage processing industry. Piccini said 2 million will go to Food and Beverage Ontario to provide training. He said the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, will receive 635,000 trained apprentices in the electrical industry. Now, to me, the support of skilled trades at any level of government is a bonus for the people of Ontario. With Ford's Build Home Faster's mandate, the supply of skilled workers over the next 10 years is going to be critical if he wants to hit his goals. Electricians, HVAC, plumbers, carpenters, bricklayers, the whole shooting match, all aspects of building, living. They have to build units, and to be able to build units, people have to make it happen. And if there's no people to make it happen, it won't happen. But you don't just need skilled trades. We also need the grunt people, assistants to the trades people. This program is a start. The one, what do you say? He's going to drop in here 13 million. But a lot more incentives and trainings are going to be needed to make it happen. And I truly believe in trade schools today. They're always necessary. Everybody kind of got away from the trades because they didn't pay that great, and they wanted to use computers and things like that. But now the trades have caught up. I mean, you could make over $100,000 being a plumber or electrician. There's money to be made in the trade skills, and there's a shortage. So anybody who wants to get in to the trade skills, now's the time to do it. And not everybody is going to go into engineering and IT and be a doctor, lawyer, or whatever. A lot of people have the ability to work with their hands. They can do things, whether it's a mechanic, a bricklayer, a plumber, whatever. But in the actual school, they're not that great. So now there's going to be programs to help them. When we saw Kappa College running programs in the trades in Fort Erie, they're opening in a school there. So it's happening, everybody. And if any of you kids don't like school that much, but you manage to get through high school and not know what you're going to do, look at a trade. Go work for an electrician. Get some kind of a trade. You're going to make great money. It's a great job. You're going to be good at what you do, and you're going to have a lifetime of good, solid employment to buy a house and raise a family and everything that goes with it. We had a school in Niagara Falls that was made for that kind of thing called Lord Elgin, and unfortunately, they closed it down. When I was in high school, they had a 2-year course for people who really weren't into education as much as they were into working on cars or working with their hands. And that's where they got their start, just the basic knowledge of electronics and auto repair and engines and fixing cars and stuff like that. So it's a good thing, and it's getting more and more important now, especially with Ford's deal to build 1.5 million new homes by 2031. Without the trades, without the workers, they can't build them. So you're going to be needed. If you're interested, find yourself an apprenticeship program. Take your couple years of trade school, and they're going to give you some money to do it. Okay, that's awesome. I love that. I really do. Hey, do you like rides? You go to an amusement park and the rides. Well, guess what? You can buy some. The rides at Marineland are up for sale. That's right. They're not sure if they're going to open this year, but they do have their rides on the block, on the selling block. Think about this. You'll be the hit of your neighborhood if you purchase the Dragon Mountain roller coaster and the Sky Screamer drop tower. Can you imagine that in your backyard? Kids are going to go crazy. All of the rides for sale can be found in the trade publication Amusement Today. I mean, maybe you can get a deal or two. Some rides. You can bundle them up. Buy a couple rides. Have a great time. Earlier this year, approval was given from the city to separate Marineland's property into 4 separate parcels. of land in order to secure credit financing. Financing for what? I don't know. Probably building condos or something. Valuable land right along there. And they're going to be required to remove the remaining marine animals there. They have about 30 beluga whales still there. So they're going to be moved out ASAP, I would imagine. So, I mean, the writing was on the wall 10 years, 15 years ago. Now it's coming to fruition. Marineland is done. It's over. It's over. It's gone by the wayside. And that's a fact. I mean, that's what's going to happen. So when you drive by going to Chippewa, give it a salute. Bye bye. It's gone. And there's going to be something else there. And if you want to buy a ride, I mean, the city should buy that drop thing and put it right here, right in the meteor crater. Can you imagine the attraction right there? The drop thing. What's it called? The Dragon Mountain and the Skyscreamer Drop Tower, right in the middle of the meteor crater. Imagine that. Imagine that. You wouldn't be able to have enough parking to have the people who wanted to go on it. Anyway, that's it. They're gone. It's over. History, another big deal in Niagara Falls is hitting the heaps of history. Thanks to John Law for the article in the review. Okay, what's going on? What's going on with these guys? There's always something going on that drives me crazy. Always something that drives me crazy. And that's Carney. This guy, our illustrious socialist leader, he's made a very good deal for his company, Brookfield. And when I read this, it didn't surprise me. I mean, this guy, he dodged $5.8 billion of taxes paid to the Canadian government by sheltering all his money offshore. He didn't live here for I don't know how many years. The guy's done actually nothing. He threw him out of England when he was governor of the Bank of England. He screwed up Brexit and everything else. He came to Canada, screwed that up. And somehow he got elected as prime minister. First he got selected, then he got elected. Allegedly. People are questioning that too. But he gave the Ukraine $4.3 billion of taxpayer money they gave it to him for weapons and to help rebuild their infrastructure. He calls the $2.3 billion of it a loan. Now, come on. It's a loan. You know we're never going to get it back, taxpayers. Anybody with half a brain knows we will never see that $2.3 billion again. Forget about it. We're not going to see it. First of all, Russia's going to win this war. They're going to clean these guys out as soon as these idiots stop backing them and let the natural process happen. And when they do that, we'll never see the money. So that's $2.3 billion you can kiss goodbye out of the taxpayer money. And the other $2 billion, you just gave it to them. Buy some new weapons, helicopters, bombs, whatever they need, right? So there's $4.3 billion, and in a strange coincidence, Brookfield just got a contract before all this went down for $4.3 billion from the Ukraine. Is that money laundering or something? There's something fishy about that. Hold it. I'm going to give you $4.3 million, then you're giving me a contract for $4.3 million. How? Why didn't they make it like $5.4 million? At least different. They have the very same number. And he says, Chili Con Carne, he says, Canada's going to get the money back, claiming the loans will be repaid by interest charge on Russian assets frozen in Europe. Yeah, sure. Come on. This is all double talk. I'm sick of this guy already. What's he been in 6 weeks? So the best part is after this was pledged and signed, a company called Cameco secured a $4.3 billion contract with the Ukraine, like I was saying. State-owned, the Ukraine state-owned nuclear energy utility, Energoatom, to supply uranium and conversion services. This agreement runs from 2024 to 2035 and ensures that Cameco will provide 100% of that's what it's spelled like, Energoatom. Needs for 9 reactors. So they're going to supply everything for 9 reactors. Now, Cameco is a publicly traded company with its shares held by a mix of institutional investors, retail investors, and individual investors. While the majority of shares are held by institutional investors, 48.82%, by the way, a significant number of shares is also owned by public and individual investors, 50.97% of the shares. Cameco also owns a 49% stake in Westinghouse Electric, with the remaining 51% owned by Brookfield. And guess who has Brookfield? Now, Mark Carney is chair and head of impact investing at Brookfield Assets. See how this all connects? Oh, it all connects together. The crookedest, phoniest bunch of people I ever saw. Chili con Carney, I'll tell you. That's Pete Dicter's name for him, Chili con Carney. I just call him Art Carney. Norton. Oh, how about that? Money laundering or what? You can't make this crap up. I don't know what you think of it, but I think it's dirty. It's fishy. It's underhanded. It sounds no good. It's pretty jonka business. Ruka business, that is, at the end of the day. So there you go. There you go. There's my buddy John Convery's out there waving in the window. Chile Carney is also going to announce retaliatory measures on U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs. He's not missing the boat here. He wants part of the action. And you know what? He gave a big explanation. It's all word salads and meant absolutely nothing. The guy speaks in double talk that cannot be translated to English by me anyway. He might as well say it in French to me, because I have no clue what he's talking about. But whatever he's doing is going to be by July 21st, apparently. He says that the feds will introduce new rules on June 30th to ensure Canadian steel and aluminum and tariff-free products from reliable trading partners are prioritized for federal procurement. Now, did you get all that? The feds will introduce new rules on June 30th to ensure Canadian steel and aluminum and tariff-free products from reliable trading partners are prioritized for federal procurement. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean about tariffs? What's it? What, I don't get it. He continued. Here's some more word salad. You got to translate this. As well, the government will ensure the auto industry and other supply chains are given the chance to prioritize domestic materials through remission processes that will be reviewed in the coming day. Okay, this is absolutely, you know what I mean? Squat. Another series of catchwords and phrases that mean absolutely nothing again. This guy, if Kamala Harris was the queen of double talk and insanity, this guy is right there with her. They'd make a beautiful couple. To sum it up, and this is a doozy from this cagoots we have as PM. In short, the government is responding to the impact of the unjust tariffs with multiple tools. And the biggest tool is Chili con Carney, I think. I don't know what he's talking about. Procurement, remission, this, that. Why don't you just go and say, we're going to put 50% tariffs on them? We're going to put tariffs on them or something. Comes up with all these baloney sayings that nobody understands. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. But this is one thing I know. Somehow this is going to cost us, the taxpayers, money. Because this guy wants to break Canada. That's his goal. He wants to break Canada, spendthrift Carney. He's going to take us to the poorhouse. It's liquidation time. He's the prime liquidator, not the prime minister. He's the prime administrator of the estate. Yeah. Canada's for sale to the highest bidder, and he's going to make sure that's what happens. He's already going to get us in debt. We're at 1.5 trillion. He's going to take us to 2.5 trillion. Just keep printing money. Just keep printing money in that money tree till he breaks us all with taxes and carbon taxes and all the nonsense and Ukraine, money to Ukraine, and another 213 billion to Europe so that they can upgrade their military. Why the hell isn't he upgrading our military? I hate to say this there, Mr. Carney, but we have to protect our shores. And we have homeless people, people on the streets that are starving, Canadians, real live Canadians. And you're giving $213 billion to Europe so they can build up their military. Why not just give Trump 60 billion like he asked for and let him build the Golden Dome? That's what he's going to build, and he wants us to kick in 60 billion. So why don't you just do that? Forget about Europe. They're over there. They're 3,000 miles away across an ocean. We need to protect our own shores. We need to make sure our military people have the best equipment that money can buy, and the best planes, and the best submarines, and the best whatever else they need. Why are you giving $213 billion to Europe? Seriously, folks, we have to get serious. We have to get serious here. This guy has got to be somehow um, given a vote of non-confidence, and we got to get him out of there. Come on, Pierre. Where's your riding? Where are you going to run? When you're running in Alberta, that one riding there and taking over and standing up and suggesting a vote of non-confidence right away. What happened to Pierre? We never heard a word from him since the election. Is he doing anything? Is he out there? I'm telling you, these guys. Oh, we need the Golden Dome here, but I'll tell you one thing. They need it in Israel, too. The Iron Dome isn't quite the Iron Dome it was made out to be. For 5 days now, Iran and Israel have been lobbing drones and missiles at each other, with Israel also sending planes to decimate Tehran. All Iran can muster up is some missiles and drones, and they're easily picked out of the sky by the Iron Dome defensive system. But right now, that Iron Dome defensive system isn't performing like everybody thought it would. The missiles are getting through and they're hitting Tel Aviv, Haifa, Jerusalem. It's unbelievable. These supersonic missiles are the ones that seem to have a way to break through the Iron Dome, and they're creating havoc in Israel. Now, the only question is, as they lob bombs back and forth, well, they've been doing it for a week now anyway, 5-6 days, is will the U.S. get involved? That's the only question now. They've decapitated a lot of the military leaders of Tehran's army, navy, whatever, military, and now they're going after the Ayatollah, the supreme leader himself. And Trump says he knows where he is. He knows he's hiding out several hundred feet below the ground with his family. And the only way to get at this guy is bunker buster bombs. The only country with bunker busters are the United States. And the only country with the means to deliver these behemoths is the United States with the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. So Trump says he'd rather see a peaceful ending to this, but it doesn't look like Iran is gonna go that way. Trump wants him to end his 40 years of tyrannical rule over the Iranian people, and they're cheering Israel on. They want to be free. They want to be liberated, and once and for all. You got to stay tuned. This would be a big move if Trump did go in there and drop these bombs for a lot of reasons. I mean, one, because Russia said no, and two, Iran does have nuclear bombs. They figure they can probably make 10 of them or something now. They've been given leeway to build these things, and they could launch them. There's nothing saying they can't, not to mention that 20 million people have been let in the United States illegally. And of them, there are some jihadists, there are some people who are fundamentalists, and they will, these secret cells, they will fire up and cause havoc in the United States as well. So Trump's really, really got to measure this. This isn't John Wayne stuff, baby. This is the real deal, and he's going to have to really measure what he's going to do here. And of course, if he can get peace through strength, that's a good thing. If the Ayatollah exits the country and Um, Other people take over. That would be a good thing. But right now, he's got to make a decision, Trump. And he says he's going to make it in the next 2 weeks of whether he goes in or not. Now, China's not staying out of this either because they use Iranian oil and lots of it. So if Trump goes in there and takes this out, their oil's cut off. So they sent ships to the Persian Gulf, and they've also got cargo planes flying in things. We don't know what they are in these cargo ships or these cargo planes, but they're flying in equipment. Are they nuclear? We don't know. Nobody knows that yet. But the good thing is the Mossad is on the ground in Iran, and they are feeding intelligence. That's how they're wiping out these generals and everybody. I think one guy lasted 4 days. He was declared a general after one was killed. 4 days later, he was dead. He was on the list. So China doesn't want a full-blown war with the U.S. They don't want their supply lines getting cut down. So they've sent ships into the area, and they're sending cargo planes in with stuff. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, and nobody wants a full-blown nuclear war. That's all. But when you corner a rat will do anything to escape. It will attack you. Even though it knows you're bigger than it is and you can kill it, it will attack you. So Iran is remaining defiant, saying they do not negotiate under duress. They shall not accept peace under duress, and certainly not with a has-been warmonger clinging to relevance. Talking about Trump. And Trump said that Iran had proposed a meeting at the White House, which they say we never did because we won't negotiate with a has-been warmonger clinging to relevance. Trump has said only unconditional surrender will be accepted. So things are a little bit tense right now. And they're saying something could happen by this weekend. So keep your eyes open this weekend. And you think about it. I heard somebody talking about this, and they said, every time someone attacks the Jews and decimates the Jews or tries to kill them, that they never stop with the Jews. They keep marching. And that's true. I mean, they started with the Jews in Hitler's Germany. Then they went to Poland, France, North Africa. They're ready to go into England, went into Russia, got beat there. But I mean, these countries and people keep marching. They don't stop when they get rid of the Jews, enough Jews, or lock them all up or whatever. They keep marching. And that's just what the guy was saying. And it's more or less just saying, listen, if we don't stop them now, we don't stop them and Israel doesn't win this thing, then it could get ugly for everybody. Got to get to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And you know what? If you ever want to have anything fixed at your house that is made of metal or plastic or nylon or anything, Hamel Machine Company is the place to go. Around since 1948, serving industry in Niagara Falls, they are an integral part of the system of industry here. Every industry wants a good machine shop that can work for them because when they break down, time is money. They need to be up and running ASAP, and they can't wait for parts coming in these days from all over the world, Germany, China, wherever. So they take the part that's broken or the machine that's broken or get Hamel in there to look at the machine, and Hamel can re-engineer the part. They can either fix it or re-engineer it. And 9 times out of 10, if they have to re-engineer it, they make it better. They make the part work more efficient. It saves time. It saves money. That's what they do. They're innovators. And that's the real good thing about this company who's been in Niagara Falls since 1948. What's that, like 500 years? It's a long time. You gotta love Hamel Machine Company because they haven't forgotten a little guy. You need something done. You need a part made for your old car. You need something that's broken. You need it fixed or re-engineered. They can do it for you. Just take it to them. They'll help you out, even down to a set of back gates for your backyard. They'll design them, custom make them for you, powder coat them. They do it all. Hamel Machine Company since 1948 in Niagara Falls. Hats off to them. Go to hamelmachine.ca. You can check out their work. You'll be amazed at the work they've done for the wine industry, richest products, cities, regions. They do it all. Give them a call. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. And please, please, please support our sponsors. They're great people. They do so much for the city of Niagara Falls. Let them do some work for you as well. Thank you very much. Okay, so I was watching a lot on this A1 or AI 171 plane crash. And this kind of stuff really amazes me. I watch a lot of these aviation channels, Mentor Pilot and a couple others, and they really do explain why planes crash and all that, because planes just are built to fly. They're not built to crash. They don't crash. They're made to fly. That's how they're made. They're designed. It's just the principles of physics that they have to fly. So when they come down out of the sky, there's usually a problem. And this one's an interesting one. And, a lot of them are interesting these days, but this one particularly because very rarely do you get to see on video exactly what happened. And we saw it with the one in Toronto, too, that flipped over. This gives you a lot of clues as to what actually happened. And there's a lot of different theories about this. I've been talking about this for a week now since it happened, what I think happened. And there's a lot of things that I said that ring true and other people are saying. I didn't invent them. I heard other people saying them and made sense out of them and thought, yeah, that's exactly it. But these people in the know, former and current pilots, mechanics, anyone else with expertise in the aviation industry, they're having a consensus now after watching it. Now they haven't heard the black boxes, the tape from the cockpit, nor have they heard the black box with all the mechanical information on it. But they seem to think there was a shutdown of the engines that led to the loss of lift and the eventual crash. And that could have been for a lot of different reasons, electrical system problems, or just the engines themselves. They come up with different theories about why the engines would shut down. And, to me, it's kind of hard to believe that on a jet that has that record of safety and everything, that all of a sudden, just both engines would just shut down. Now, this plane can take off with one engine. No problem. Pilot's going to have to do a little bit of handiwork on the controls, but it can do it. So for both engines, just to shut down, especially after spooling up, taking the plane down the runway, getting it to V1, which is the speed needed for takeoff, and then rotating the plane. And VR's rotation, when they say rotate, all they're meaning is that you tip the nose up, you're rotating the plane on its axis, so you start going up, right? And then V2 is that you're in the right mode to climb. You have an F thrust and lift. So it all was going right. And then all of a sudden it went horribly wrong. And of course, when things go wrong at 600 feet in the air, there's just no time to recover. The engines go, you don't have time to start them again. There's just no time. You don't have time to do anything if the engines go out. And of course, pilots, if they hit the takeoff speed, once they hit that and they're going too fast to stop by the end of the runway, they have to take off. And once the plane takes off, it goes up, and then that's it. Your angle, of attack to go up, and you got enough lift, and you have your flaps down, and your wheels are retracted to give you a smoother surface, less resistance, less load. Thrust overcomes drag, less drag on with the wheels down, and the wheels up in the body, less drag. And a lot of their summations are based on the dropping out of the bottom of the plane, which is the turbine that drops out and spins to create electricity for the plane. So you still have your instruments, even if the plane doesn't have full engine power or there's something wrong with it. So they're by going by that, they say the engines quit. That's one of the reasons they drop out, or an electrical issue. And I probably say, and this is probably what I said before, is that it's probably what happened at the end of the day. But my thing is that it happened, yes, but why? Why would both engines go out? And they're talking about vapor lock and a bunch of different other things. And the one thing that nobody talks about is malicious acts to cause them to shut off. In other words, shutting them off, maybe shutting off the electrical panels, something like something went wrong, and we won't know what went wrong until we get the recorder and also what happened with the engines, why they went off. But that's something that nobody's talking about, and I don't know why. I mean, we've seen this before. Terrorists take over a plane. They were talking about it with the MH370. There was a guy who flew the plane out over the Atlantic and knocked out the pilot and dove it right into the ocean. I mean, these things happen. There's terrorists out there. We've just had a big thing between India and Pakistan. The guy who was in that co-pilot seat had 1,100 hours on this plane, which is not a lot of hours. So, I mean, I don't know, but if you do anything at that point in the flight, if it doesn't work out right, that thing goes down and that's it. So I agree with what they're saying. They probably got it nailed down. They're experts. They know what they're talking about. But I still want to know the other side of that coin. I want to know the why. Why did the engine shut down? Why was the electrical the problem, if that's what the problem was? There's a lot of questions still to be answered here, and then that we're going to get. And then I saw that there was a thing where the one guy was saying that the black box was too damaged to read it. The one in the back of the plane, not the pilot voice recorder, the one in the back of the plane that has all the information, all the data, it couldn't be read. And I'm sitting there going, well, that's odd. Why is it odd? Number one, it was in the back of the plane. The tail section got torn off in that building. So it never got affected by fire. But regardless, the thing can handle temperatures of 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, jet fuel will only burn at 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. So the box is made to be able to take that kind of a fire. And it's also able to take 3,400 G's of force without destroying it, which is 3,400 times 1 G, which is one gravity. So this thing is made to withstand exactly what happened here. And it wasn't in the main fire because it was in the back end of the plane, which got torn up. You saw the tail sitting in the building. So now I'm wondering, why are they saying that this box can't be read in India and it's got to go to the United States to be read? To me, that's strange. That's very weird. And, the more of these little goofy things that come up, the more you think, what the hell is really going on? And I know, everybody calls me the biggest conspiracy theorist ever. I'm always thinking that there's something weird going on when it's just an accident that happened. Unfortunately, people died, and that's terrible. Condolences to all the families. But still, they got to get down to why it happened. Was it an accident, or was it something malicious? And that's what they're looking at now. And I can guarantee you, although I'm saying this here, I guarantee you the FBI, CIA, Interpol, anybody, Boeing, anybody who has anything to do with this airplane is investigating if these pilots were on the up and up, and who was on that manifest, who was on that flight manifest, and why did this guy come walking out of between two buildings unscathed, claiming he was on that plane? That's pretty weird stuff. One guy of all of them walked out, no problem. He's on his phone, like it was a Sunday walk, and he lived to say that he heard a bang or something. So anyway, I'm going to keep an eye on that one. I'm keeping an eye on that one for sure, no doubt about it. That's the weird one. And before we end the show, I got to get to my last sponsor, and that is, of course, the fantastic Niagara Parks Commission. And If you haven't experienced the Niagara Parks Commission in Niagara Falls yet, you're missing out on one of the best parts of living in the falls and visiting the falls. Yes, the Niagara Falls is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. 14 million visitors a year experience the 32 miles of groomed parkway, with the centerpiece being the falls themselves, and that parkway is taken care of by the Niagara Parks Commission. But they just don't take care of the parkway for us. They have a multitude of attractions down the park, zip lining. They're in cahoots with the boat guys there, the hornblower boats or whatever they're called now. They changed their names, but they have that. They have annual adventure passes, they call them, that you can buy to get on all these attractions that they have down there. They also have the annual parking pass for locals and other people alike, where you can get a pass for visitors that come frequently, get a pass to park. So you don't have to pay the exorbitant prices for parking. $50 and you can park all year and go visit anything you want. So they have some great deals for locals, some great attractions for visitors in the falls themselves. The showpiece, of course, fireworks on Saturday nights, or I think during the week, it's all summer. It's going to be every day of the week. I think they do them. So you got to go to NiagaraParks.com to see what they have to offer. And their newest restaurant is the Whirlpool Pub and Lounge, located at the Whirlpool Golf Course, the beautiful public golf course. Do not miss the Niagara Falls attractions. I'm telling you, if you come here and you don't get down the parks and see what they have to offer, you're crazy. You're missing out on it. There's so much to do, and the Parks Commission is a big part of the attractions in this city. Niagara Parks Commission, NiagaraParks.com. Visit the website today and see what Niagara Falls has to offer. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. Thank you very much. And we're going to end this on the Ripstock bandwagon here. Ripstock starting today at Fireman's Park. Come on out and check out the music. There's live music. There's food trucks. There's ribs. There's carnival attractions. They have some rides and stuff for the kids. Just beautiful. Fireman's Park in Niagara Falls, Mountain Road. Go out today. Ribstock is going on this weekend. And I think it starts today at 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. That's what somebody told me. So I'm going, okay, great. Get out there. I'm going to go at 5 o'clock. I'm going at 5 o'clock later on this afternoon. Check it out. See what's going on. Ribstock, Fireman's Park. Have a great day. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Hamill Machine Company, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Niagara Parks Commission. Have a great weekend, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. Come on, give us thumbs up, thumbs down, leave some comments. What the heck? It costs you nothing, and it helps the algorithm to get this show out there. Thank you very much. God bless you all. We'll see you Monday with Manic Monday. Have a great weekend. Go to Ribstock, and we'll talk about it on Monday. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.